So thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We have a great guest that we invited to come and speak to all of you, Roxanna Alvarez. She is a licensed therapist, and we're excited because we're going to be discussing um, several topics and things that I believe a lot of people have brought up and are experiencing due to COVID, which is anxiety, depression, and addiction. What are some of the coping mechanisms or techniques that we can help people battling with these three things at home? And pretty much, leave it open to you, Ms. Alvarez, so you can go ahead and just, let the people know what they can do and all of that. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you so much. Well, first of all, I would like to say that what we're experiencing is something that feels unreal, and that we are going through something that we would never think it would happen. So just with that information, it's very hard to believe. So all the emotions that are...
I'm sorry. Is it me or is there? I can't hear.
No, I can hear Roxanne.
Okay, I think then it
You
was
can't
mine.
hear me?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Because
Okay.
I can't hear anything.
Yeah, we're good. Or you maybe can you hear me, Jess?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you, but I don't know why I can't hear Roxana.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can hear Roxana. Maybe it's your computer.
Yeah. Can you hear me better, or can you hear me now?
Let's see. No. Okay. Yeah. No, we can. I'm sorry. We can go ahead.
Yes, because I'm not sure if she's gonna be asking me questions. It's gonna be hard for her to know what I'm saying.
Can you hear Jessica?
I can hear her. Yes, pretty clear.
Oh, okay.
But she can't.
I'll help you.
Okay. So I guess to sum up, it's a lot of emotions that we're experiencing right now. And as a mental health provider, I basically preach that every day. Like, what we're experiencing is not easy, and everything that we feel is pretty human. So it's understanding that that aspect of it, and grasping that as to, okay, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to feel frustrated. It's okay to feel worried and uncertainty, like all those emotions that we're experiencing in the world, as we talk about this COVID-19 situation. So I think that would be my main focus for today, like for you to understand, for us to understand that this is something that we never imagined. And so we, as humans, we experience so many emotions that we have to kind of identify and what are we going to do about those emotions? What are we going to do with those feelings that we never felt before? So that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about today. I know we lost her. I'm not sure what's going on, but
I'm messaging her to get back on. So
okay.
So yeah, we want to welcome you, Roxanna R. Alvarez. You do have a business. One of the reasons that we're doing these podcasts is that we're helping the people of Laredo. I was telling Jess that it's beautiful to see the community of Laredo come together when there is a disaster such as the coronavirus situation. We saw people just coming together, and so Jess had this great idea of creating this community, and I joined, and I've seen the amount of help that's come on. And one of the helps that we know now is that we need professional help, and I'm glad that you chose a career to help people out. And you're a licensed therapist. You've got a background in helping people out, and we just want to welcome you to our podcast and see what's available. Jess, can you hear us? Are you back on?
Yes, I'm back on.
Hi, Jess. Can you hear me now? No.
I still, for whatever reason, I still cannot hear Roxana. I don't know why.
Oh
I
my.
don't know what is. I don't know exactly why. I can hear you, but for whatever, I don't know what's going on with the audio.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe are you on mute? Do you have your volume up?
Yes, no, the volume is completely up. There's no issue with it. I allowed it. It's going for, I don't know why.
Huh. Interesting.
And are you using your? Is she using her phone?
Are you using your phone or your computer, Jess?
My phone.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Because we can put her on
Yes,
speaker
I
and
don't
she can.
know exactly. Well, we can continue on. I won't be unless you no, I can't think of something. But because it's such a great topic and I was so excited, I want to continue. So you, Pastor Delgado, that you can hear her, just go ahead and make the questions, right? And just
sure.
move forward with it.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah. So as I was saying, you're a guest tonight. Is it okay if I call you Roxanne or Roxana or
Yes,
Dr.
Roxana.
Alvarez?
I'm not a doctor,
I know.
but
I know. But
you can call me
so
doctor. I'm just kidding.
yeah. Okay. All right. Doctor help tonight. So So Jess came up with this great idea, of the community for the city of Laredo. And as I was saying, we've seen people, uh, helping out the community through the group, the Facebook group, the COVID-19 Laredo support group, and it's been a tremendous help to me and to a lot of people in the city of Laredo. And just being an entrepreneur, a businesswoman, I truly believe that this is a good time for people to come together and be with like-minded people and help the community. And
Yes.
Jess has a professional hiring staff company, and we obviously wanted to reach out to other health professionals like yourself. So tell us a little bit more about what you do. I know you help people out, but what are some things that people come? I don't know if you're able to discuss that, but you tell us a little bit more. You're in the city of Laredo. You have an office. What do you do? What can you help us with?
Well, I'm a mental health therapist. I'm certified to provide therapeutic recreation. So services. So basically, I've been doing mental health. I've been working for the community for the past 16 years. I've obtained
Wow.
my license about 5 years ago, and I began doing providing treatment for the community. And I do have cases that are coming in, obviously with a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, very normal emotions that we're experiencing in the city. And as you know, as we're going through this, so that's why I wanted to discuss that, and that it's okay to feel those emotions because if you think about it, a lot of the times we were living in a fast-paced world that we were constantly back and forth. Most of us, and some of us, driving our kids to school, taking them back to the house, feeding them, all those, activities that we used to do in before were basically stopped. We've experienced a break, like a very aggressive break on our life. So just by knowing that, those emotions that accompany with that, like it's very stressful to even think, okay, what happened to my own life, and
Right.
accepting and adjusting to that is extremely difficult. So those are one of the things that I discuss in my sessions and to my friends and people that I'm around, because we're all living this. Even to myself, I self-talk. I talk to myself to that to take one day at a time when I'm feeling overwhelmed, because we all are experiencing this is a situation. And so in my practice, we talk about the importance of just identifying how you're feeling about this. It sounds like, well, I do, it's understandable, like I should know what I feel, but if you think about it, we sometimes don't think about the way we feel, we just do what we feel. And so
Right.
if we're feeling frustrated, we just react to frustration. And that's that's part of being human, right? So
Right.
the what we're talking about is like, this is what you're experiencing. It's hard, and it's acknowledging that and bringing up some self-compassion to that. Like it's okay. Like it's okay to feel scared. It's okay to feel like you want to just, relax at home, or just, talk to your friends about this. It's okay to do that. But sometimes when we don't validate our emotions and we just go based on how we feel and like we react to it, that's when we start feeling like, okay, this is too much, I can't handle it. So the first thing that we do is identify how we feel. Like, what am I feeling right now? Am I feeling stressed out? Am I feeling like I can't handle it? What am I going to do about this emotion that I'm experiencing? And then do something about it instead of just reacting to it. And like I said, this is all of us. It's not just my patients. It's not people that I see. It's not my friends. It's myself too. So
Right.
It's okay. Like, it's okay to feel this way. So the first thing is identifying that what we feel. That would be my first step to and validate them. Like, validate
Right.
how you feel. And then from there, what are you going to do about that? And so that's when the challenges begin, right? When we say, what am I going to do about my feelings? Like, it's too much, I can't handle it. And that's when we start thinking about ways and coping skills and what has worked before when you were stressed out. If it has worked for you to take a really relaxing bath, if it has worked for you to talk to your friends, if it has worked for you to do activities that you love, even if it's indoors, we try those things for now. I mean, it's challenging because there's, for some people like me, that I'm an extrovert, I am a social person. So I love to socialize. And I've been told we can't do that. So in my mind, it's an explosion. Like, I can't do what I love. Like, what do you mean? So it's all of those things around. Like, if you add up everything and you think, okay, what am I going to do with not being able to do what I love to do? And then hearing the news, and then hearing your friends and your family also really scared, is just so much. And so understanding that it's okay to feel those things, and then from there, what are we going to do about it? So that would
Right.
be the coping skills that I discuss with them.
So you have a professional counseling service, and you help people emotional. I mean, do you help like married people when they're going through problems? Do you also do marriage counseling?
Yes, I do marriage counseling, individuals, and therapy. Depends on what's going on with the patient. But yeah, we provide mental health services for individuals, for children, and it's 1-to-1. Depends if it's family therapy. Also, if they're interested in those services, so those are also included in my
And
practice.
yes, and your services, obviously they're under a fee schedule. I mean, do you have a website or a phone number where people can ask you more questions, or do you have a website where people can research, or do you provide free resources, so people can see if this help is what they need before
Yes,
consulting?
we do. We have I do free consultations over the phone.
One.
Basically, yes. So if the patient comes in and says, you know what, I don't even know what I want. Like, I just need somebody to help me out, just redirect me to the person that I need. I speak to them on the phone. If I am unable, I do have an assistant that takes my calls and basically answers questions and refers the patients to wherever they need, or the clients wherever they need. But I do try to help as much as I can. Obviously, it's just myself, so it's kind of difficult at times to answer those calls. But if any of the viewers are experiencing any suicidal thoughts, or severe emotional distress, the best practice is to contact our local mental health facility. They have a crisis hotline, which we can provide at the end of this call, the information. There's also a free text message line, and they can text a professional over the phone. Some people feel very that therapy is intrusive, and they don't feel comfortable talking to a person, so they do text.
Yeah.
They're free. They're free services. I know there's a national hotline number also for COVID-19, and they can also use that. There's a lot of resources right now that could help our community.
You also have a Facebook page, which I was looking, and it looks very interactive. You can schedule an appointment. You can message people. What was the name of your Facebook business page? It's Roxanne R. Alvarez. Or
Yes, yes, yes. That's my professional website. We do my uh, my personal website is on the works, and I have also a right now website that's also on the works. It's called Cardia, and I can also forward that information. It's basically provide some like a history and biography of myself, and some of the services that we provide.
I'm gonna ask you a question. I think I know what Jess would ask. And one of her questions is, how are you doing? How are you managing?
Oh my gosh. I'm
Right,
nasty
Jess?
girl.
Yes, definitely. How are you coping with COVID and your family? And what are some things that you do to get through, just to get by, and remain, active and positive? Because I know that on my own, I've dealt with, there's days that it just becomes too much. You become consumed with how just everything changed, and everything's so different now. And there's just days that I'm like, I don't want to do anything, and but before you couldn't stop me. You couldn't, sit me down. I was very active and this and that and all that stuff. So ultimately, constant bad news from the media, constant
Yes.
negative posts, on social media, and all this negativity, it just starts to kind of like, wind you down, take a toll on you, and you're just like, So, and I've noticed that on my own, so that's why I was like, what are some things that you all do to, to stay positive and just keep the schedule going?
And I'm very glad she mentioned that. I know she can't hear me, but I think that she brought a really good point. Like it's as to the news. I don't I don't see the news unless it's because it's something that I need to know. As far as like I have because it does impact my emotions. Like hearing the news constantly, it would bring me down. So that's something that I discuss with clients and patients. Like this is something like if you know that looking at the news constantly and it's bringing you down, don't do it. Uh, just have a limit, 15 minutes a day or 5 minutes a day, just to get the information from the city. Okay, this is I can do this, I can do this, and then from there take it. And so my main priority as a person, as a human being, is my emotional health, because if I'm not okay, I can't be that person for my patient.
Right.
So I'm in constant check with my emotions. How am I feeling about what is my process, my reflection? The way I cope with my stress is I have a spiritual life, but that's me. I have a spiritual life, and I basically vent with God, and I also do different things. Like I said, I'm an extrovert, so I need to talk to my friends. Like that's a need for me. I have this social aspect of me that it's important. So that's how I cope with when I'm stressed. I identify that I need to spend time with my friends. If it's through FaceTime, it's FaceTime. And then just spending time with my kids. I just know, like, I guess day by day, it's on a day by day, one day at a time kind of thing for me. So if I feel the way she feels, I take some time for me and just kind of like, okay, I need to kind of stop and vent, let it out, express it, and like she said, move forward, get up. It's one day at a time.
I was reading your website that you are a Christian. Well, obviously, I'm a pastor too, so I'm a Christian as well. So I like the leadership of this podcast. Jess is also a good friend of ours. I like what she's doing. We've got like 1 minute more on our podcast, so I'm gonna ask you, Roxanne, one more time. What can you tell the community of Laredo? And then Jess is gonna take like a minute to close out our podcast.
Okay, it's 1 minute.
Yeah,
what
1 minute. We're gonna give Roxanne 1 minute to tell us what can you tell people if you want to help them right now.
I guess really, there's so many things I would say, but I think for me, my main priority for them is for them to be okay with feeling not okay, and then focus on things that you can control. You can't control what's going on. We can't, even though even we like. I would like for everything to go back to normal, but we can't control that. We can control the way we feel about it. So what are you going to do with those emotions? What are you going to do to make your day better? Because it's so easy to be drained, like to be pulled by negativity right now. So you can't control the way you feel about what's going on. And so just know that, like, you know that you have the power to do things to make you feel better, but despite of what's going on, you know, in the world. So that would be my main, like, one of the things that I would say to the community, and that it's gonna pass. It will pass. It's just a moment of uncertainty. Remember times that you didn't feel that it was gonna, like, this, like a situation in your life that didn't feel like it was gonna end for in a lifetime, but it did end, and you were able to overcome it. It's the same thing. The like they say, like the what, the grass will be green eventually.
Yeah.
Right now it doesn't feel like it, but it will. So that would be my message to the city of
So
Laredo.
so basically, just you know what Roxanne is saying, or if I can say that, is that we humans, we were not designed to carry, you know, the burdens and the emotions. So Roxanne, she's saying that it's okay that we ask for help. This is not normal. I believe so. So Roxanne, thank you for sharing that with us. Uh, I'm gonna thank you for coming on with this podcast. Thank you for being a professional. Thank you for us, you know, being with us here tonight, and the people of Laredo for sharing your knowledge and your business. And we're gonna post on the comments your website or where we can get a hold of you. So Jess, you got a minute to help us finish out. Jess, go for it.
Yes, well, no, well, I mean, first of all, thank you so much for also, volunteering your time and coming on board to, speak to, the people. And most importantly, because it's such sensitive subjects that I know that a lot of people feel that they're on their own, or they don't know who to reach out to. And they don't know, people like you that are out in our community that can help them, and there's these services. And sometimes, just as a person, you don't know if it's something that you can deal with it on your own, or if it's something that you need help with. At what point do you reach out to somebody and you're like, you know what, I'm feeling this way, and I, do I need to get help for the emotions that I'm feeling or that I'm going through. And it's great that your services exist, because it's one of the things that I want everybody to know out there, is that there's this help, and reach out. And I know that in our community there's a lot of I don't know the word, but it's like,
Stigma.
they try to be quiet about
Mhm.
needing help, especially when it comes to emotions or mental health. And I want everybody, my age and anybody, to take a different path and help people move forward, and get the help that they need in order for us to just be healthy individuals and cope with whatever life throws at us, a pandemic. Right?
Yeah.
But we deal with it. It's happening. There's nothing that we can do about it, but we can love ourselves and help ourselves to get through this. So
Yes.
thank you so much for being here. Thank you,
Thank you for
Pastor,
having me.
for also always being amazing with the podcast and getting it all together. And that's pretty much it. Thank you, everybody that tuned in.
Roxanne,
Thank
how
you.
can we get a hold of you? What
I'm
do you
sorry?
prefer? How do we get a hold of you? What do you prefer? We go to your website or your Facebook page or phone number?
Yes.
Or?
In whatever it's comfortable. The Facebook has my contact information, and
Okay,
the website as well.
all right. We shared it on this group, so we'll share it more. All right.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me. Stay
You're
safe.
welcome. Yeah. God bless you. We'll see you. Stay tuned.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.